Hi everyone, my name is Amrit. We're going to give you the best tips and tricks so you can conquer the 5 boroughs. So one of the things that are different about the TCS New York City Marathon is how you get to the start village. Personally, having done it 4 times, I've always taken the ferry to the start because you get to see Lady Liberty shining at you before you start the race, and then you jump onto a bus, and it also allows a bit of extra time before you can start the race because you do get there very, very early.
And I think that's the main thing as well. Because of all these logistics, allow enough time. One thing you don't want to do after having secured a place, done all this training, simply miss it because you were late. So absolutely allow enough time and choose your mode of transport very carefully and get yourself there and give yourself the best chance of getting the best out of the TCS New York City Marathon.
So because of how early you have to get to the start village for the TCS New York City Marathon, I highly recommend, depending on the weather, that you take some layers, take an extra blanket, something for you to sit on and just make camp. There's going to be thousands of runners at Staten Island. Find yourself a little spot, settle down, have a few hours to just dial yourself into the race, have a bagel, grab a coffee, because you have time on your side.
I have to emphasize that point. Get yourself some throwaways. This is stuff you're going to throw away, donate it to charity afterwards, but please make sure. It's a very hard feeling being on the start line and you can't feel your feet because you're frozen. So please make sure you cover yourself up, stay warm until you go.
And don't do what I did back in 2019 and run the race with a frozen foot. Highly not advised.
Don't do it.
So you're at the start line of the TCS New York City Marathon. The national anthem has gone. The gunshot for the start of the race has gone. And straight away that greets you is a climb up the Verrazzano bridge. Don't worry about your pace. Run on effort. You have a mile up and then a mile down. Allow the body to settle into the rhythm. As with every race and most races, most majors, you'll see thousands of runners running around you and running faster. Just stick to your own pace, your own race, and the feeling of getting yourself into the race at the earliest part of the course.
It's honestly one of the most scenic starts, the Verrazzano Bridge. And the way they do it, I don't know it's every single time. You got helicopters going over, the cannon shoots, everything just feels as majestic as it sounds. But stay focused and stay with your plan and ignore what that moment feels like just for a while. So you've done the bridges, all the roads are super wide, you've got all the space you need, and then it kind of narrows down. Kind of gives me the vibe of that Tour de France kind of narrowness, would you say?
100%. And what you feel when you're running through Brooklyn for the TCS New York City Marathon course is the fact that the crowd just goes right on top of you. It feels like you are the superstar. You are the superstar. It is your race, and the people around you, the crowd, the noise, it becomes so electric. It's personally one of my favorite aspects of the course because it's just so loud and you just cannot hear yourself think, and your pace does creep up because you're so excited.
Brooklyn to me just sort of hits you with this culture. And I just remember being there, like, I'm finally in Brooklyn. Do take time to soak in these locations. I've never seen, and I mean this, literally never seen diversity of people, races, ethnicities, like what you see in that moment.
And to add to that point, one thing that is so unique about the course is that you go through 5 different boroughs.
Yeah.
5 different types of people, 5 different types of sounds, and it's electric throughout them all. That's a reoccurring theme, but you get different experiences, and that really does help break up your race.
Absolutely. But Amrit, we have to address the elephant in the room. Somebody put bridges on the New York City Marathon course.
You got to take each bridge in its own. They are all unique in their own right. The Queensborough Bridge, which is just around 15 miles, 25k. What you'll notice when you approach that bridge is the silence. All you can hear is the footsteps. You lose all the crowd noise.
Now, I like how you put it. It's quite silent. All you hear is footsteps. It's not. It's very silent. And all you hear is footsteps. And sometimes, depending on where you are in your head, how well your race is going, that could be a good thing, or it could be quite problematic to people. I found myself walking at that point. What do you say to somebody who is struggling at that point? They've been ushered in with all this noise and the cheering, and suddenly there is nothing.
Just get yourself through it. You're not going to get 26 miles of complete noise. It's also a chance where you can just regroup. You can assess where you are in the race. It's coming to that point in the course and the race where whether you're on your A goal, you might be hitting your B goal, your C goal, or you might just need a couple of minutes to regroup. Use that moment on that particular part to have that time for yourself.
On the other side of every hardship is something delightful. You come off that bridge, and honestly, I have never heard noise like what you hear when you come off the Queensborough Bridge, and there are people not just lining up the whole course, but there are people behind people. And I have never felt lifted up, especially against the backdrop of the pain I've just experienced. What's been your experience in terms of the points in these courses where you actually feel physical and tangible cheering from people?
I think New York stands out to me the most. It's that particular point at the bottom of Queensborough Bridge as you make that turn towards First Avenue. Don't get me wrong, you're feeling electric at this point, but just like a boxing match, it kind of throws another little jab at you because the First Avenue climb is a ever so slight climb where it just checks you back.
Right.
It checks you back and it tells you you're still in this course.
Right.
This is the hilliest. This is one of the toughest, and it reminds you that you've just had one of those moments. We're going to serve up another one. Get through this section, and then you can have another one of these euphoric moments when you hit the Bronx.
I remember Central Park. And Central Park just felt very, very tough for me, simply because of the elevation profile we've talked about, but it has a way of welcoming you back and preparing you for a finish. I'd like to give our viewers your experience of how you saw Central Park.
So when you get through to Central Park, you know it's the first thing that greets you is another long climb. And you get through that climb knowing that you're in the park. You've got maybe just under 3 miles, just a 5k left through the park, and it's weaving, it's turning, the crowd is building. For me, New York has been one of those historic places that I've always seen on TV. Yes. I grew up watching Home Alone.
Yes.
How he's running through the park, and for me, I always remember that you see the hotel on the corner, and as you sort of turn back in towards the Central Park. But it is one of the most toughest finishes, I think, out of any marathon major. And a lot of my memories have always been there where I've kind of assessed myself. I've walked, I've run quick. It's been a tough moment. And I've always remembered that part of the course being one of the toughest as you sort of head back towards the finish and you finish back into Central Park as well.
And to me, it all comes together in Central Park as you then start to see those famous marathon landmark signs that tell you you've got 1K to go, your 800 meters, and all of it just comes together. And it feels like all the training you have done, all the preparation has now led to this moment.
And one thing I would say is a big tip for everyone who's running the TCS New York City Marathon is with Central Park, get your family and friends to meet you there to get them into the crowd, because that's where you do really need them the most. When you have someone there, you can really focus that you're going to be seeing someone you know to really get that last bit of energy that you need, give that final boost and that final cheer that you need.
The final tip I will give everyone, I think, and I don't want to quote numbers, but it's the longest distance from the finish line to where you come out. They make you walk all around the park to then come out because they've had to block the roads for the course itself. So please be prepared that if you need something from you to get to the finish line, to the backdrop, to be able to leave the race village, it's quite a long walk.
I'd say, Aubrey, that's quite iconic because that's the poncho walk. Everyone is in those ponchos. You know you've done the New York City Marathon.
Absolutely. And I definitely made sure everyone knew. So we thank you for checking this out. Honestly, we hope that you have an amazing time as you prepare, as you go into race day. And Amrit, thank you for all your insights. Honestly, invaluable. I just regret meeting you now after I've ran New York.
Good luck when you tackle the 5 boroughs.